Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about three giants within the space. We're going to be talking about Hedera and HBAR, Casper CSPR, and also IOTA MIOTA. This is pretty different of a video simply because I've never talked about IOTA on this channel. Full transparency, I only hold HBAR and Casper out of these three. I don't hold any IOTA. I just have too many holdings within my portfolio to add IOTA to the list. But we will be talking about it. We will be talking about all three of these in this video. And with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's start off with a few things. So HBAR has been one that I've been looking at for a while. Price action out of the question. Anything really under 5 cents is a big buy opportunity for me on HBAR. I really kind of just accumulate anything under 5 cents because I think that long term it's going to be a huge market for HBAR, considering the fact that we are only at roughly fully diluted market cap $2.5 billion. This thing could easily 10x to $25 billion. So anything under 5 cents, and I'm a big buyer of. Outside of that, Casper, obviously another big one. This one I've been waiting to see if we are going to hold 3 cents or if we possibly lose 3 cents to buy a lot more. But I have been accumulating Casper for a very long time, since going all the way back to October of 2021, for an example. So as we really kind of look at Casper, this is a giant in my portfolio and will continue to be one, considering the fact that this thing has a fully diluted market cap of less than $400 million. Outside of that, IOTA, this one has a market cap, currently speaking, fully diluted of about roughly $426 million. The market cap fully is right around the same price. I know that this has been glitchy a little bit. I don't know if that is on IOTA's part or if it's on CoinMarketCap's part, but it's definitely a weird glitch. Let me see if I can refresh it and see if it updates. So yeah, I mean, it's 426 million basically. And as we look at the full chart, this thing has underperformed massively over the couple years. Going all the way back to 2017, 2018 was the last all-time high for IOTA. Recently in 2021, it went up to about roughly $2.50, almost 2 cents. And currently speaking, it's at about roughly 15 cents. Pretty much the same price that it was around back in March of 2020. So take that how you will. I also think that IOTA is a pretty big player in the game around the same sort of areas of Hedera and even Casper, which is the enterprise grade sector and real world application space as well. But again, remember, we are still in a highly speculative market, and any coin, no matter how good it looks, can still go to zero. So make sure that you are, aware of the risk involved. Outside of that, though, let's dive into a few things. So first and foremost, shout out to the Web3 Alert. This is my media Twitter account. This is going to be my new media company that we are going to be really kind of talking about a whole bunch of things regarding the space. And as you guys do see, we were addressing Casper, HBAR, and IOTA within this. Shout out to Tokenizer, because he is actually a part of this media company with me, and he is going to be the one that really is in charge of writing a lot of these threads. But for the longest time, blockchains have been all the hype as the next big thing. But over time, directed acyclic graphs, DAGs, have proven to be a perfect fit for the enterprise sector. Casper, HBAR, IOTA are all great examples of DAGs in action. Let's dive into how these work. And this is where, of course, we look into Hedera, because Hedera has really kind of pioneered the microtransaction space and really kind of took a great opportunity to become a leading force behind that. And some of the major players that are already validators on the network include Google, IBM, Boeing, Chainlink, Nomura, FTPOS, so many other great players. And so far, Hedera has really kind of, like I said, pioneered enterprise-grade adoption and became a dominant force within the last couple years around the space. In terms of Casper, Casper is also a great opportunity, but their highway protocol, which enables much more dynamic and live senses of finality, is structured in a DAG-based system. Like anyone else in this space, if you guys have been following the channel, you probably know that Casper has also rose to the occasion and became a big player within the enterprise grade space. Additionally, their network enables flexibility to fit the permissions and a network environment fit for any business. They have been tested to the upper limits through some large enterprise collaborations, including IBM, Hyperledger, and even BSN China. And again, they also joined IBM's Global Partner Program to presenting right alongside the tech giant at Davos in 2022. The two demonstrated the ability to enable cross-chain atomic swaps between different blockchains. But here's the catch. This was between two private permissioned and public permissionless chains, as the two networks used were Hyperledger Fabric and Casper's public chain. This eventually led to the inception of IPWE, an on-chain tokenization platform utilizing both public and private permission features enabled by Casper flexibility. Again, a huge partnership, which I will also go over in this video. And then, of course, followed it up with some very, very big announcements around Casper as well, including even the Actus standards. Also, IOTA, as we look at IOTA, it utilizes a DAG-based architecture to meet the high demands of machine communications through data, which is also a big thing. I know that a lot of you guys are probably going to question and ask me, Nick, what about DAG? What do you think about Constellation? DAG is also another one that's very interesting. There's a lot of controversy behind IOTA and also DAG because a lot of people think that these are scam projects. And listen, it could very well be that. I'm not one to really kind of justify if something is a scam or not. But as we look at a lot of the projects within the space, we are still very well in an infancy market where things are extremely speculative. So anything could technically be a scam, no matter how good or bad it looks. But as we do look at IOTA, it embraces the ethos of a DAG architecture as well, if not better than any other chain. There are no blocks or miners in the network whatsoever. Instead, they validate the data in their DAG in a unique way. Rather than the traditional validators or miners responsible for validating the network, instead transactions verify each other in the tangle. How does this work? When you send your transaction, you unconsciously also verify two other transactions. It's quite a novel and unheard of mechanism. I like to think of this mechanism as what proof of witness would possibly look like. They aren't just working with enterprises, but even some with standard bodies. And yes, they are actually working with some very, very large players, OMG Foundation, and even the EU Council. Object Management Group is a global technology standards consortium with 220 plus standards and 15 of those adopted by ISO. IOTA is also working on multiple standards directly with OMG, as the OMG chairman and co-founder is actually a member of IOTA. And even with the EU, right, they've been working with them very closely before and even after they begun implementing MiCA regulations. Earlier this year, IOTA had made a public statement about the advancements of their work with the EU Pre-Commercial Procurement Program, PCP, to find the best fit industry use cases for DLT. And the list goes on and on. So as we really kind of look at these three, they have become giants around the enterprise and business side of things. Even when we look at the enterprise grade use cases and applications on Hedera, it is this is a major network of enterprise grade use cases. Like, this is not something to just overlook. Like, this is why I talk about Hedera and HBAR constantly on this channel. It's because of the significance behind Hedera and what they have accomplished in just a short amount of time. Listen, go back 2 years ago, and this was unheard of on Hedera. There's a few players, but not nearly as many as there are now. And also, the network is already used heavily by the enterprise grade sector. And they continue to expand services like, for example, the Hedera Guardian and even the new stablecoin studio on Hedera, which is really kind of catering it more so towards governmental use cases, but also even enterprise grade use cases as well. Very, very big plays being made by Hedera right now. And in terms of Casper, they're already focused on the 4 macro trends, which is tokenization, which I've always said, like, tokenization is a big one to look at. You need to be heavily focused on those that are actually pioneering tokenization in the right way. And so far, Casper has really kind of rose to the occasion through IPWE. That's more so of like a very different way of, tokenizing things. Like, tokenizing patents is huge because it allows for monetization of patents and IP portfolios, which is unheard of in today's world. So that unlocks billions of dollars for a lot of companies, including even, companies like Porsche, for example. But again, like, as we look at some of the other ones here, ownership rights, financial standards through Actus, and even the creator economy, very, very similar to what Hedera is also focused on. And IPWE is one of the biggest ones. Like I said, this is the one with the IP property or IP portfolio, through NFTs. This is something unheard of, right? Because so many people are so used to seeing NFTs as just monkey images, right? But outside of that, there's a lot of use case potential around NFTs. I mean, it's not so much about cartoon characters now. It's more so, how can we tap into NFTs beyond just art? And this is a huge use case, especially for the enterprise grade sector, to unlock billions and billions of dollars. And they already signed up 300 companies in less than 4 months, which was big. Now, beyond that, we also know that Casper is heavily focused within the financial services space. And we even see that 80% of financial firms worldwide are already investing in blockchain technology. $27 billion could allow banks to save on cross-border settlement through blockchain by 2030. $24 billion moving securities to blockchain environments can save up to $24 billion annually in global trade processing cost. Big. And here you guys have the Casper effect: optimize cash flow management, deliver lightning fast payments, leverage smart financial contracts that are upgradable as well, and create more efficient derivatives via tokenization. Again, the opportunities here are truly unlimited with blockchain and DLT technology. And in this case, when we really kind of look at DAG technology, it's a game changer. And retail. Casper is built for the retail sector. I mean, there's a lot of great opportunities around this as well. And here's the Casper effect: improve trust with customers, launch better loyalty programs, reduce transaction fraud, personalize user experiences. And this is also something that could be achieved through Hedera and through a lot of these players. But the difference with Casper is that you have the upgradability around smart contracts. And also what makes these, again, this is a big one, by the way. Focus on this whenever you are investing into a project. The team and the founders behind a lot of these projects are the ones really kind of driving it home. Like, they're the ones that are really going to be the ones to give you an insight on what's going to be happening around some of these projects. And one thing that I've been really focused on with Casper is how strong the team is, how much they have been building, how vocal they've been around the things happening with Casper, and they have not slowed down one bit during this bear market. And that's something that I even look at with Hedera as well. It's a thing that I put a spotlight on with Hedera. And beyond this, there's a lot more, government use cases, entertainment and gaming, and even manufacturing and supply chain. And talking about supply chain, IOTA is also really kind of focused on the supply chain as well. There's a lot of great things that IOTA is actually trying to do. They're really kind of streamlining the idea of a digitized world. The digital society of tomorrow is essentially becoming a reality through a lot of these players. And whether or not you want a digital society, it's already kind of starting, right? We talk about this quite a bit through all of the other players that we are talking about with like XRP and CBDCs. It's already in motion. So we're just kind of waiting for things to go fully live. But beyond that, we already know that IOTA has a ton of partnerships. We already mentioned a few of them. And the list goes on and on here. And talking about that, actually, when we talk about Hedera, you guys probably remember the Hedera and Dell partnership from February of this year, where Dell Technologies actually joined the Hedera GC to help automate DLT. This was a big one. But guess what? We know back in June of 2022, IOTA Foundation joins Dell to develop real-time carbon footprint tracking. Yeah, that's right. Big one. And this is something that I really kind of look at because, again, like we see a lot of people saying like IOTA's this, IOTA's that. And the same goes for a lot of these other projects like DAG and Constellation, right? When we really kind of look at the things, we need to align ourselves with the partnerships as well. And we need to make sure that we, double check everything. Like, for an example, this is being tweeted from the Dell Edge and Telecom Twitter account. We've partnered with IOTA, BioE, and Climate Check to develop real-time carbon footprint tracking through a data confidence fabric. And again, this is where IOTA comes into play around data. Data is a huge thing. And remember what I've said about DAG Constellation in the past, like going all the way back to 2021? I said data is the new oil. It really is. So IOTA unlocking a lot of use case potential around data and really kind of tapping into data. It's a big thing. It's a big, big thing, and it's extremely valuable. Outside of that, they are also focused on the supply chains, redefining or redesigning their trust in supply chains. And they also do mention IOTA's Tangle, which we did mention in the beginning of this video. The Tangle is a big thing because that's going to allow for transactions to be verified. It's going to verify data as well. And here's the business applications for an example. Digital twins. We've talked about digital twins. This is a big market. Beyond that, track and trace, which we've talked about with Hedera. The pharmaceuticals market is ripe for track and trace because there's a lot of fraud within it. And we even see customs and border management. And they've already partnered with institutions in East Africa to build a unique public data pipeline for border agencies and traders to share data. Again, tapping into data, game changer. It's the number one reason what made me look into Constellation and DAG during 2020 and 2021. And it's the same reason why I'm actually very interested in IOTA. If I did not have already a stacked portfolio, I would probably be adding a lot of IOTA to my portfolio. But again, it's just already stacked. I really can't do too much about that unless I consolidate it, but I'm not consolidated my portfolio right now. I think that it's already prepped for this new cycle to begin. But beyond that, there's a lot here. The Industry 4.0, which we've been addressing, this is becoming a reality. This is going to improve everything around us. It's also going to disrupt everything around us. This is where we really kind of start to see things change just beyond the typical use cases around like finance and cross-border payments and things like that. Like, this is much further beyond that. This is going to disrupt standardization bodies, enterprises, businesses, the movement of goods and services. Like, this is truly the fourth industrial revolution. And beyond this, we also have e-health with healthcare, which we know Hedera is disrupting as well. And there's a lot more within the pipeline. And also, by the way, IOTA has a lot of great things launching initially here soon, which is going to be Shimmer EVM chain, which is the side chain around EVM. Another big thing that's actually happening with XRP, they're trying to get it voted on through the XRP ledger, because the EVM sidechain is a big thing. It's going to bring in a lot more around the community in terms of development, which could bring in a ton of use cases. Also, seamless protocol upgrades with, of course, the Stardust protocol upgrade as well. And then beyond that, IOTA 2.0, which they've been talking about and hinting at quite a bit over on Twitter. And then we have scaling, which is always going to be a big thing, because this is going to be through sharding, which, by the way, Hedera has this capability as well, which is a big, big thing to mention, because when we talk about enterprise grade adoption, it's unprecedented, right? We could start to see these networks demanding scalability very, very fast. So having that opportunity to scale seamlessly through sharding is a big, efficient opportunity that these networks do encompass, which is a game changer, especially around the enterprise grade sector. Like I said, because right now we're talking about 10,000 TPS, right? But in the future, these networks could boast 100,000 TPS, a million TPS. You never know how heavily adopted some of these projects will be. But this is why I really kind of look at these three. And it's also why I think that these three could very well be extremely big giants in the near future, and even going long term. Like, long term, I really see Hedera and Casper as big players. And now I'm kind of starting to realize why a lot of people have been saying, Nick, you got to make a video on IOTA. You got to talk about IOTA. And well, here we have it, right? We're talking about IOTA. So I might be doing a little bit more research on IOTA, really kind of breaking this project down fully. If you guys do want to see that, definitely leave a like and comment down below. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. And also, if you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.